What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Uber Cooled Garage. On this week's episode, we're going to be continuing on the bug, getting the cage further along. Everything's starting to turn out pretty darn good. So let's hop right into it. Hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so on the last episode, we got the main hoop in. Still have the chassis underneath. So got the main hoop in. Nice and tight. I have since notched the upper halo. It was really not easy to get that correct. Couple times of notching, just little by little. So you can see it is extremely tight up top. The ratchet strap will be able to come out here in a minute. So I have been working on the A-pillar bars. Had to notch them. That was another thing that was pretty difficult to get correct to fit inside the dash and come back down into this bar. So I think I got them where I want them. Driver's side might have to be tweaked just a tiny bit more, but not too shabby. So let's get those tacked in, and then we can start working on the dash bar. So I got to get the steering column out, put that in there, and then the dash bar goes underneath it. So get that in, and then we're looking pretty good. Like I said before, the back half of the cage will come later on, along with this front section to tie all this stuff in. So the knock-a-duct was sitting there just so that I can get measurements on hoses and angles and stuff like that. It's no big deal. Looking pretty good so far. So let's get these tacked in and see how it looks. Okay, so I got the second A-pillar bar tacked in. I didn't film it because it took a while to get it. I had to get a ton of different measurements and angles and all kinds of stuff. So got the steering column in, roughly where it's going to be. As you can notice, the dash is off a little bit. It's the actual body is shifted just a tiny bit. So that's easy enough to fix. I just have this down here holding the steering column where it needs to roughly be. And then once this section in here gets welded up, there'll be a hoop right here that bolts to. And then, the steering shaft will get cut with a U-joint that comes down like this to a rack and pinion steering setup. So that'll work out great. Now I can get the dash bar that goes underneath, get that in. The front's looking pretty darn good. So you can see it shifted just a little bit. So the actual body's got to go this way, just a hair. It's the same back there on the B-pillar too. So just got to get shifted just a tiny bit, which is no big deal at all. That's kind of why I'm doing this the way that I'm doing it. So then the body will get bolted back on down here, and then the cage gussets, all of that will get bolted in. That way everything is mirrored imaged. So we'll get this dash bar back in, or start making the dash bar, and then I think I haven't decided yet. I haven't decided if I'm gonna do door bars yet, or if I'm gonna start working on the front section, getting all this situated in. So we'll get to that here pretty quick. We'll figure it out. Got the dash bar tacked in. Fit in there absolutely perfect. As you can see, the steering shaft is slammed in there. It still slides in and out, which is nice, but the dash bar is up as high as it can go. This spot here is pretty small, but it's way more than enough room for your legs and all that stuff, so it's not that close. So I'm actually also thinking about adding a bar that comes from here down to here and then back up like this, and then this will actually be a switch panel, and that will get built into all of the shifter and all that stuff. Actually, I have a template right here. Kind of how it might go. So the hydraulic e-brake will sit in here. I'm actually probably gonna lower this a little bit. That way it's shorter. The hole on top there will be a proportioning valve, so that I can just reach over and turn up the rear brakes or turn them down, depending on how the car drives and all that. The shifter sits right in there. I'll make a boot that matches the rest of the interior for that, and then this will go up to the dash. So the tablet will sit in this area here. I'm actually thinking about making tabs that fold out of this that will hold the keyboard for the tablet. That way it's kind of easier to fidget through the programs and stuff for that. So I'll have a couple gauges over here, maybe one here and one there, and then all my switches and everything, all the push start and all that stuff will be down here. So that's kind of the idea on that. I'll probably end up changing it just a little bit. So other than that, we're looking pretty good. Judging by the tubing that I have left, I think what I'm going to do is skip the door panels, or the door bars, and I think I'm going to move up to the front. So I'm going to run one from under the dash there, up, and then out to here, and then one up to that one, and then a diagonal one this way that connects it all. Same thing over here on this side. So I think I'm going to do that. That way I can start getting the front suspension all together and on here and where it needs to be. And then I can start forming all the firewall stuff up here. That way it's all nice and sealed off and ready to go. So I think that's the plan. We'll start building the front suspension stuff. got a couple more bars notched. So I got this front bar. It's about 17 inches in between. The fuel cell sits right down in it. Well, it sits above the Nautica ducts, but sits in this section here, and then that leaves pretty much this section over here open. So it's probably gonna hold a water meth tank and maybe a surge tank. So that'll work out really good. I also got these kick bar or support bracing in here, and then this one that's bent here actually sits in there, goes up to the A-pillar bar, so that turned out really good. And then I'll have to add in another brace right here, but that worked out really good. And then after I get the brace that's it, or the bar that goes in here, I have a crossbar that goes across here, and then another one right here, and that'll finish off this box section. And then after that, I have some that come from up here and then come across, tie into that, and then across, and then it'll come down into here. And that's what the shocks will actually bolt onto. So all of that's looking good. The radiator will sit in between here, so that's, I can fit a 27.5 by 15.5 or 16 inch radiator, so pretty big radiator. I'm gonna go with a 3-row, probably a Griffin radiator with 2 fans on it. One fan will be on a thermostat, the second fan will kick on if temperatures get too hot, which in this car I highly doubt. I'm going to have a lot of airflow through the front, and then it's going to exit through the fenders, and then there's about 15 feet of 1.5-inch coolant pipes that run from the front to the rear of the car, so that's quite a bit of coolant. So highly doubt that I'll have any cooling issues with this car, but you never know. We're looking pretty darn good. So once I get this box section done, then I can start tagging in suspension, start building all of the firewall that goes in here, and then I can start moving to the back of the car. So we'll continue the front, get it all nice and good and ready to go, get all my tabs for the brake lines and all that stuff welded in. So far looking pretty darn good. Really, really liking how this is turning out. I'm definitely gonna feel 100 times safer than even the last cage that was in it. So all the notches are turning out really, really nice. I mean, as you can see here, everything's really tight, nice. So let's keep moving on the chassis. Okay, so here's the layout. It turned out really, really good. The top bar isn't tacked yet, and this crossbar isn't tacked yet, so you see this gap right here. That'll that'll go away. I just got to shift the tube around a little bit. This piece will end up getting cut right here and probably end up getting a notch kind of in the top where this top bar comes down, and then it'll kick down this way and tag down into this area here. So it'll go up and then flat, and then there'll be a little kick piece right here, and then that will go and tie up to the A-pillar up top. The reason this bar isn't tacked in yet is I want to start getting suspension stuff set up. The lower A-arms will end up getting welded into here, and then I need to make sure that my upper A-arms will tag into this bar. If they don't, then I will add in another one wherever I need it in here. That way the suspension is correct with all the correct geometry and all that stuff. So I am going to set up the other side exactly the same as this. And after that, unfortunately, I am out of tubing. So I'll have to order some more to finish off this piece, and then the other piece here, and then the top bars that come down. So kind of a crummy way to end it. Well, end this section of it, but at least now I have a general idea of what I need. Start getting the suspension roughed in, I should say. And then the front's looking pretty good. I can also add in the bar here that is, it's an 1.5 inch tubing instead of 1 5/8 inch. The bar that's going to go across here is just for the hood hinges, so I can get that in. I think I'll end up cutting a 45 into this and a 45 into the next piece, welding that together, smoothing out the bar so that it's nice and clean and smooth. There's no structural support on it. The radiator lower mount will probably be welded onto that bar, but I'll make that bar strong enough to support a radiator. So far we're looking pretty darn good. Alright guys, so that's all I have for you this week. Ran out of material, but should be able to order some here shortly. The Gia is pretty much done, so the new owner is going to set up shipment and get all of that all set up. So that one, the Gia should be gone here pretty soon. Zach's Gia, which is the customer's car, should be in tomorrow, I believe, if not early this week, and then we'll start getting into that. I'll give you guys a full rundown. We'll do videos on it and everything like that. So the bug stuff should be coming back here pretty quick, and then we'll throw some customer videos in there as well. So if you guys are interested in doing a swap, or interested in carbon fiber or anything like that, go ahead and shoot me an email or a comment. My email will be down in the description, so I will get back to you relatively fast. So we'll keep moving forward, starting the whole business stuff. I should have stickers shortly, so if you guys are wanting to support the channel and the race car, I will be selling stickers pretty soon. Shirts and stuff probably, I would say, in about a month or so, should be start doing that stuff as well. So we're really starting this business, start getting everything all set up and ready, and we'll just keep jamming on it. So we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out, guys.